Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to install a Rexpeed steering wheel on our GR86. So let's get this unboxed and let me show you guys some quick steps on how to pull the airbag off to replace the steering wheel. This thing's pretty cool because it actually has a little mini GR logo as well as a little teeny carbon fiber one. So let's get to it. So this is a fake unboxing, guys. We actually already opened this to check it out and we've had this on display for some photos and stuff. So this is the wheel we're going to install. Usually it comes with a foam protector all the way around. And these are the key little badges. This is actually a GR logo with an OEM part number. And then there's a little micro carbon fiber one in there that can fit in there if you guys are BRZ owners. So let's get to it and go from there. So one thing when you're working on these cars and you're working on an airbag, you always want to remove the battery. The best is just to take a 10 millimeter, remove the negative terminal. You just want to get it a little bit loose. And from there, you should be able to wiggle this like this, and you should be able to pull it up, and then your negative's disconnected, so now you can work on the car properly. So this is a little cover that you're gonna need to pull off, and I'm gonna show you how to release some of the clips to get the airbag actually off, and we have to change and remove all this hardware and put it back onto the other wheel. One of the key things is to make sure your wheel is actually straight up and down, because you got to line the teeth up, which you'll see in a second, properly when you put this thing back on. So I got this wheel perfectly straight up and down. So now I just need to break this. This is a 17 mil. I'm going to hold it with my knee at the bottom. So you got to break the steering wheel and you got to keep it straight and centered. It's more important to actually take it and have it centered once you're taking this thing off. Some people do use an impact. I have done it before. And just for the record, I've never had a steering wheel airbag have an issue, and I've done plenty of these things. So now with that, the key is to kind of like just hit this wheel a couple times and it'll actually help break it loose. See how I just pulled that off? So I need to release all these accessories. So I need to get a Phillips driver and get all this stuff off, all these plastic trim rings. And these are basically just the side plastic trim pieces. And you don't want to lose these screws either. So we got that. We're gonna take this one off over here. The other thing out of those is we need to feed this thing through here. This stays in the car. These are the airbag harnesses here. But you need to remove the cruise control, which is these two screws here. So now that we have all those screws out, we can actually take this off, feed these yellow ones through. You want to make sure not to mess with this clock spring here. So now everything's off, and we can take this over to the bench and get these clips off here. So to pop this off, all you're going to do is just get underneath it, finger and pull up, and this whole thing comes out. It's ground wire. Cool. So here's the steering wheel in stock form. We removed the skin of it, so to speak, and we're going to install this on our new steering wheel. So as you see, here's the difference. We still need to pull this back cover off. We did pull the magnet out. I'll explain what that is in a minute. It's kind of like actually a weight on the top here, but we need to pull this back part out and change this over to the side as well. So hang tight for a second. You see these clips right here? This is what releases that the backing. So by pushing through on those, there, and you gotta push it out here. And then there's two right here. They go wide, and then that's that part. Cool. You can sell this. You can send it to us, and we can take it for you for a couple bucks, or just keep it as a souvenir. You will need to remove these clips too, I believe, so let's double check that. These are what we did when we actually did the removal. I'll get into that in a second. So I just showed you guys how to remove this plastic piece. What we got to do is we got to take these springs off from here and transfer them over to the new steering wheel. So we're just basically going to lift this up and pull these out at the same time. So I literally just pull that out. I'm going to do them one at a time. I'm going to pull this over here and I'm going to slide this through this hole. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. So I'm just going to put it right there. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do this one. I'll pick it up, push it forward a little bit. And I'm going to take this one over here and get it under the groove. And then that's what locks it in. This is what we were moving to actually remove the steering wheel. You can see the little marks right there if you get in close. That's what's actually holding the airbag in. The airbag, when we put it back in, we're just going to push it in. It's going to be perfectly fine. So the last one is this bottom one here. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to lift it up and we're going to kind of jimmy it over top of this unit here. There we go. Now one thing you want to do is you want to be careful with your stock steering wheel, and you want to put that in a nice like spot where it's not going to get damaged. One thing with these steering wheels, I'll show you ours. Let me get this one in. So you got to do it a needle and thread type situation here. There we go. So it falls into that groove and it falls into this, so it can't really move. So one thing with these, check out this wheel. These get scratched really easy. It's really fine leather. So if you got rings on or long fingernails, this could actually do it. So this is one of the reasons why you want to upgrade to this wheel. It's a lot better. Thicker leather in my opinion. This is a nice soft feel. It's a little bit thinner diameter, as you can see. It's a little thicker, but the carbon is super cool. So again, we just got to put this back in now that we finished. We're just going to snap this back in place. Let me flip this over for you guys. So again, you can see this is OEM frame. Basically, those are just going to pop in. And then these two are going to come around like it did before. And that's in place. So now we just got to put the guts back in and feed that cruise control thing through. Put all the screws back in, put the weighted magnet in, and we're good to go to put this back in the car. All right, so I didn't really talk about this in the last one. This is just a weight, and this just goes in like this. It kind of just gives the wheel a little bit heavier of a feel, and it helps with the positioning of it. So you gotta put this back on here. All the screws are the same. And if you notice, like these are where the wires actually run through, so you gotta pay attention to when you take it off. What I'm actually going to do next is I'm actually going to feed the cruise control harness through and use those two screws, and then I'm going to get all my wiring and everything's going to be in there at the same time. So here's the unit itself. So I'm going to feed the cruise control through just like before. This is just going to kind of hang here. Again, this is going to end up plugging in all up here and everything, as you'll see in a minute. But we got to get this guy in the proper place. Got to get the wire down below, and jimmy this guy in here. How difficult with the top? There it is. There it is, right there, the pin. So we're gonna put those screws in on this guy. Start with the one with the centering pin. Get that one set. So now that we have that installed, we can actually start putting this back in place and get all the wires through here. You can see, remember I told you guys about those clips? This is where that harness actually comes up through, and it plugs back into here. And these are for the airbag. So these are just push back down again, push into place, push into place. Push into place. We didn't pinch any harnesses or anything. So we'll ground this at the end, but this is in place, but we're gonna push this up through there so it's snug and out of the way. And it's not gonna get caught on anything while we're moving or the steering wheel's rotating. So it's basically just back to just like OEM. So basically we just have to put the screws in these two last little holes here to secure that in. So there we have it. So now the key is to push this through here. Okay. Keep this clock spring perfectly center. And feed this guy through. And again, this is the key to getting this thing squared. You want to get this thing perfectly TDC. You got a nice red thing there, and there she goes. We're going to plug this back into here. Clip that in. This is for your airbag, and we need to ground this. This fits inside here like this, guys, so that it's kind of like tucked in and away from everything. Okay, and then this is all on the airbag side. Cool, so there it is. And now we're going to put our 17mm bolt back on. People do is they actually scorch and they put like a little scribe right here to also note where top dead center is. I didn't need to do that. Hopefully this wheel should be straight. We did have that alignment on this car, so everything's perfect. So let's see how we do it. So I'm just tightening it up nice and hand tight. And now notice we got the nice flat bottom. So this is a really nice feature of this wheel. We have the logo here. So we're going to reattach the ground and we're going to put the airbag back in. So that's going to go down there. And then these two drop in just like this. And I'm just setting them in there right now, and then I'm going to press them in. Ready? There we go. No airbags exploded. We're just going to take this and pop it in. And like I said, I showed you guys those clips. Basically, when I press this in, it's going to lock it in place. So guys, one thing, this was a little loose, so I actually pressed that tab back in a little bit. It's supposed to line up with that dot there. So I pulled this back out. I wasn't super happy with it, but now it kind of like clicks in and it's a little more secure. So that's just kind of, it just gets loose when you pull it out for the first time. So let's pop this in. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay, the last step is we're going to use an alcohol prep pad. We're going to clean the surface right inside here, and we're going to decide which one of these we want. So Rexpeed supplies us with a carbon piece. Pretty cool. And then an original OEM GR logo. I think we got to go with the GR logo. We are in the GR today. So here's the original GR one. This is all garbage, garbage, garbage. So you can see they're the exact same shape. This thing's pretty cool. It's got some depth to it and everything, but it is an OEM piece. So we're gonna get our alcohol prep pad and we're gonna clean the surface area. Get in there. The key to this is actually cleaning it and making it wet. The key is actually to let it dry properly. So we're gonna give that a couple minutes and then we'll put this sticker on. I really do think this is the one though. It looks really good with the red stitching. So I'm gonna get the bottom left corner in there first. I'm gonna get that in, get the top one in, and I'm just gonna press it in. Oh, that's nice. Nice fit. Guys, we just gotta put these two trim pieces back on, so don't forget those. So these are simply just go in and around this piece. Put the back in first, that piece, and if you wanna come on the other side, we're gonna do this side here. So here we can actually start the wheel. So we can turn it a little bit, so just so you guys see what we do here. And basically we're just gonna put this back side in, and then just clip this in. Now she's finished. Horn check. Okay, so there you have it. Full install, the Rexpeed steering wheel. We'll put a link down below, as well as I think I can put one up in the corner here of where this product is. This is the TS79, I believe, but it's available on our website. We do have a few of these always in stock. There are a few different options available. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can email us at support@86speed.com. But again, super awesome product. Fitment is perfect. The framing is just like OEM, and then they add on all the carbon and this perforated leather. This reminds me of the 2013. It used to have a look like this, but this is cool, and a nice red center line, and of course it's got the cool GR logo. So there you have it, guys. Thanks.